chat. Welcome to another stream. Let's see, it is Wednesday. It's Wednesday, my dudes. It's Wednesday, November 4th of 2020. And welcome back to yet another stream. I am exhausted. I did not sleep at all well last night. And the little amount of sleep that I did get last night, I must have slept on my neck funny, because not only am I tired, but my neck hurts. So I'm off to a wonderful start today, as we are. What just happened? Oh, Michaela's here. How's it going, Michaela? Hello, hello. But yeah, the plan for today is to work some more on pre-commit.ci. I actually have a few tiny little open source stuff things to get started with. Oh, hey, the Rob White Twitch. Thank you for subscribing with Prime. Really appreciate the subscription. Welcome to the stream, the Rob White. But yeah, the plan is to work on pre-commit.ci today. I have a few, I think one-liner open source things to do first, so we'll probably start with that. But let me say hi to everyone who's here. Let's see, Michaela is first today. Michaela is first today. Ooh. How's it going, Michaela? We've also got Shaz Robot, we've got Food Do, we've got Flemish Hacker, we've also got Beldothis, we've got Halted Catch, we've got Rexroof, who's got a very interesting set of peanut butter emotes there. Honestly, I saw that before stream, and I burst out laughing, so appreciate those, oh, you can click on emotes now and see where they come from? Yo. Could you always do that? And I'm just, dumb? That's cool. But anyway... Welcome. Flemish Hacker says, how are you doing? I'm doing alright, other than, being tired and my neck hurting, but such is life. Hey, what's up, Lup Lup? Hello. Lup Lup. I like that. We've also got Rollers. How's it going, Rollers? Who is not first, indeed. Not first. Rexer says, mission accomplished. Nice. We also got Ian DeCarl. Hello. Rexer says that Dan D... Does it stream is surreal and absurd and has crazy emotes. I see. Actually, somebody gifted me a random sub to a channel called Dog this morning, which I've never heard of. I don't know how I got gifted a sub to it, because I, have never visited that channel before. So I don't know how I got a sub to Dog, but I'm now a sub to Dog, which is weird. Hey, what's up, Mems? Hello. And I have to apologize. I forgot to start the bot right on time, so some of you missed your little chat log message count stuff. So RIP that. But what are you gonna do? Okay. So I think I don't have anything open source to talk about today, other than Node.js is a dumpster fire. And let's see. This is an issue that I might work on at some point, which is Node.env currently defaults to the latest version of NPM and Node, and the latest version of NPM and Node is kind of broken. It's the non-LTS release, and it kind of seems like they didn't do very much QA testing for NPM 7 because a lot of the major packages are just completely broken, which is wonderful. I just love when that happens. But anyway, at some point I want to make it so Node.env can pick a LTS version instead of just defaulting to latest. So it could potentially default to LTS instead, which would be cool. And unfortunately, I looked at the API stuff, and the API stuff already has this information available, so this patch would be pretty easy to do. I haven't done anything with that yet. I also proposed this patch, which reverts someone else's patch, because they just call subprocess.run at the module scope, and they use this capture output, and they didn't, adhere to the linters. There's so much wrong with this patch, I don't actually know how it got merged. Well, I do know how it got merged, because Travis CI got disabled on on Node.env because, Travis CI did their whole, fuck people that are doing stuff for free situation, and so... Yeah, Travis CI is kind of a dumpster fire. Speaking of Travis CI being a dumpster fire, this patch was opened, I don't know, 2 hours ago, and the build hasn't even started yet. Look at how ridiculous this is. The build hasn't even started yet. So I'm gonna probably go and replace this with with GitHub Actions at some point as well, because oh my god, this is fucking dumpster fire. But yeah. Lol Travis is, I guess, the TLDR for today. Hey, what's up, Yoda Droid and m2dev.net? Hello, hello. And Does Not Eat Voodoo, he says, please, please take my mind off of this chaos. Yeah, that's why I definitely don't have the election results open in a tab in Firefox off screen that I can periodically look at. Yep, totally not looking at any of those. Close that tab. But yeah, I feel ya. I totally feel ya. It's been a lot of disappointment. Hey, what's up, El Papa Pig? Hello, hello. We've also got Nick Roy, who says, why do you use a Linux VM instead of using barebone Linux on your machine? I go over that in this video, so check out this video. I talk about it in there, and yeah, I go over it there. Shaz says, Travis, lol. Yeah, exactly. Rexurf says, you haven't coded a regular bot update to the channel. I'm confused what you mean, Rexurf. Regular bot update to the channel. What does that mean, Rexurf? Oh, I forgot. Did I not change my my thing is correct. What are you talking about? What do you mean? Nick Roy says, I guess so, but I currently dual boot Windows and Linux and it's working pretty well. I see. Yeah, I do a lot of context switching. Kayla says, I always hear about Windows eating Linux when people dual boot, so I mean, as long as they're on separate partitions, you shouldn't have to worry about that. Hey, what's up, Blue Axolotl? Hello, hello. Good to see you. Sorry, I meant a bot command to update the election results regularly. Oh, yeah, we're not gonna do that. It wouldn't be hard to implement Rexurf, but we're not gonna do that. Hey, what's up, Sebastian 900. Hello, hello. Welcome back. Good to see you again. Black Slottle says, I haven't been here in a while, but since then, I'm way more familiar in just about everything you're doing now. Cool. Awesome. Well, welcome back. Okay. But yeah, anyway, I reverted their patch because it was broken. And it turns out there's a much easier way to fix this by just removing these two characters. 2-character change. And suddenly it works better. But anyway, reverted that. We're not going to work on those things today. I do have one little open source thing to work on first, and that is let me grab this link here. My workflow run for my stream updater is broken. So I get an email once a day because it's broken. It runs twice a day, but I get an email once a day because once a day it fails. That's not what I wanted to click on. I wanted to click on this? Question mark? No. Why would this go to the commit? This makes no sense. There's no reason this should go to the commit. It should clearly go to this page, which is the page that I actually wanted. But anyway, the problem is when there are no changes, it tries to commit and push, and it shouldn't try and do that. So we'll fix that. It should be pretty easy. Anthony writes code / explains. Just a little tiny bug here. GitHub workflows update. Yeah, so this is the problem here. So basically what we want to do here is switch this so that if there's no diff, it will just exit 0. But yeah. Are you using wired Wi-Fi? What? Black Slottle says, I like the Twitch chat on the console. Yeah, this is my chatbot. If you want to learn more about how it works, there's a link here. Michaela says, this is me right now. I mean, Michaela's usually pretty lewd, so I'm going to open this off screen. Okay, this is fine. Right? Right? Melissa says, do you use pre-commit.ci to CI pre-commit.ci's repo? I don't yet because I don't have private repo support. And actually, have I enabled it for the public repos? I'll stop pre-commit.ci. Have I enabled it for the public repos? I have not. We can do that. Pre-commit.ci, select repositories. And which ones are public? This doesn't have any code. Does pre-commit.ci have code? GitHub slash pre-commit.ci slash pre-commit.ci. Do I have pre-commit installed here? I do not. What am I doing? Why don't I have pre-commit there? I know this does, right? Right? Surely? Runner image. Yeah. Okay, so we'll set it up for this one repository.
POGBOYS.
Melky Kapow has resubscribed for 3 months in a row and 4 total. Thank you for your continued support, Melky, and Pog to you as well, and Pow as well. But welcome. Good to see you. As always, I gotta type in my stupid password here. Get it from the password manager. But Pog to you, Melky. Good to see you. Welcome back. Cool. Okay, now we have pre-commit.ci enabled on a pre-commit.ci repo. Let's actually badge that repo while we're at it. Pre-commit.ci runner image. Copy this guy. GitHub.com pre-commit.ci slash runner image. PCI readme. There's GitHub action here. Cool. Oh no, I have to sneeze. No! Don't sneeze on stream! Ah! Let's see. Pog. Black Slottle says, I really want to learn Lua because a mobile app, TIC80 uses it and it would be fun to do stuff with it on the go. Yeah, Lua's pretty straightforward. It's a little bit weird with like array indices and stuff, but pretty straightforward. Toothless Viking says, question, is the bot open source software? It is indeed. If you do bang bot, you can learn more about it. Most of the stuff that I do on stream is open source, although pre-commit.ci I want to sell it at some point, so there are parts of it that are not open source. Are the plushies open source? No, they are proprietary. They're very proprietary. They cost the dollars. Okay, let's see what we get here. This should actually be pretty quick because I don't think there's all that much in this pre-commit config. Oh, I guess I have the full Python setup because I wrote some Python scripts, so maybe it'll be a little bit. Oh, it's done already. Cool. Yay. Do we have to build anything? Nope, everything was cached. Man, this is so nice. I love when everything's cached. The cool thing about the cache here is the more people that use it, the better the cache works. So yeah, it's pretty good. So for the first run was cached. That's how cool it is. So I'm pretty excited with that. Meme Meister says, why is your keyboard so weird? It's a keyboard fetish. I don't think that's what it is, but you can learn more about the keyboard there. Oh no, Michaela, this is so good. If you clone a person, are they the same person? Depends if you clone by reference or by value. I love it. Hey, Lup has subscribed with Prime as well. Thank you for the subscription, Lup. Appreciate that. I did catch up on chat, Yoda Droid. Crazy, right? Crazy. Yeah, this job's gonna take a while because it has to build Docker image, but that's alright. I'm actually surprised that it wasn't cached. I guess the base image probably moved, which is fine. It says, also, I thought the person responding was from the Prodigy, but realized his last name is slightly different. Oh, I see. Nice. Okay, so we'll let that go. But here we need to do if get diff quiet. I think get diff quiet. Does quiet imply exit code? Disable all output of the program implies exit code. Cool. If god, why do I not remember how to do if statements? If then echo hi phi. There's no diff. If there is a diff, we should get this. Okay. So we want if not get diff quiet, then exit 0 phi. I hate bash sometimes. Actually, I hate bash all the time. But sometimes it's necessary. I think I could also do... Oh, actually, no, we want this. If there's no diff, we want to exit 0. Yeah. Right, commit dash M. Skip pushing if there is no diff. This is why I'd be happier to write it in Python and not in Bash. Because in Python, I would just say, you know, equals equals 0, and I wouldn't have to be like, is it non-zero or 0? Is it 0 or non-zero? I would just, you know, check the value directly. But git push origin and that should fix that. Oh, except the periodic job just ran, so it just updated and added this video here. Git rebase-i origin master. Git push origin head. That should do that. Let's see. Cool. Merge. And oh, that's the other one. I think we need to rerun this. Oh, there isn't a way. Do I still have the dispatch? Yeah, okay, cool. So we can run it manually here. This should skip the no op test here. Or this should skip the push. What happened here? Cool. So it skipped it. Yay, it works. Cool. We did the one little thing that I want to do. Cool. I can delete that email from my inbox and be a little bit more sane. Hey, what's up, Polyspastus? Thank you for the follow. Welcome to the stream. Hopefully you're doing well. Let's see. Okay, cool. Oh, now I'm behind a chat again. Dang it. Binary Sloth, how's it going? Welcome back. Are you running Linux on a VM? Because I'm thinking of getting a drive to dual boot Linux, but I'm not too sure if there will be any benefits to it. Yes, I am. I am running a VM. Here's my setup if you want to check it out. Belethus says, is it just me? Is there a black plushie just below carpet? If so, what's the name? Yes, there is. We'll do the plushies for today. Okay, so we got... Oh shit, is it Reginald or Leopold? We've got Leopold. I think that's his name. We've also got Lola right here. Little blue-eyed black kitty cat. We've got Carpet up here. We've got Ty, and we've got Noodle, the long boy up there. Those are our plushies for today. But yes, there is a black plushie under Carpet. Carpet's not just floating there magically. Black Slotto says, I would use Linux as my main OS if my computer could handle virtual machines, so I can just have like every version of Windows and Mac if I really want to. So the thing about Mac OS is they try very, very hard to not let you make a virtual machine. Mac OS is really only supposed to run on Mac hardware, and technically it is illegal to do it otherwise. That said, I have definitely never ever made a macOS virtual machine. No, not me. I totally didn't do that. That's not something that I've done in the past. Definitely didn't happen. But I don't know. I think most computers should be able to run virtual machines. You don't actually need all that much processing power on modern processors to do virtualization, because they're not emulated. At least, you know, not in the last 15 years. They've not been emulated. They're mostly schedule switching instead. James Boyan says, which of these would you pick? Oh boy, neither. So first off, the plus isn't needed there, because strings will implicitly join. This is how I would write this. Babby t.pi. So this is what we had. Oh, damn it. This is what we had. This is how I would write this. I would do this. This F doesn't actually do anything, but I usually like to have both of these line up. Also, you don't need single quotes here. You can use bang R to get your properly quoted thing here. But at that point, you know, these probably fit on the same lines, so you don't really need all that. And this probably fits on the same line as well. Depending on how much this is indented, this might fit as well. But of course, you know, if you have one level of indentation, you're probably not gonna meet your 80 characters there. Even 2 levels of indentation, but if we had 3, you're not gonna fit that. So I would probably write it like either like this or like this. But anyway, oh, you can't see that because it's off the screen, of course. Anyway, there you go. But yeah, hopefully that's helpful. You know, set up a code formatter. Code formatter will usually do this for you. So either like black or add trailing comma will put you into something that looks something like this. Black Slottle says, Babby, yes, this is my text editor that I wrote from scratch, like a crazy person. Rexter says, you give your CI/CD write access to your repo. Which thing are you talking about? Are you talking about GitHub Actions, or are you talking about pre-commit.ci? The answer is yes to both of them. Although pre-commit.ci only has write access after the user space code has run. So while this is running, it doesn't have write access, and it's only on pull requests where writes are attempted. So the answer is yes, but no. If we're talking about this here, this periodic job to update this playlist here, the answer is yes, because it runs once a day. Hits the YouTube API, lists all of the videos in this playlist, and then updates this README file. So hopefully that answers that. M2Dev.net says, could you use git diff on a monorepo to determine which parts of an app to publish via CI? Yes, you can. We actually did something like this at Lyft. There's some of the weird pseudo monorepos there. Hey, what's up, NZ Void? Thank you for the follow. Welcome to the stream. I believe GitHub Actions has a paths setting, which allows you to do something like that. So you could set up different actions for, different parts of your repository, and it will filter based on that. But yeah, you could set something up like that. Black Slotto says, if I decide I want to start streaming, I'll definitely make a bot for it. Yeah. Bots are really helpful in streaming, for sure. Blue-eyed black kitty cat, isn't that a Yu-Gi-Oh card? And I summon my blue eyes black kitty cat! You've activated my trap card! Hey, what's up, JJ24? Hello. EasyLight says, that's why there isn't a one-click solution at the moment with KVM on GitHub. Oh, yeah. Oh, for sure. 100%. Balata says, I remember I saw one day a repo by Jeremy Howder which basically abused GitHub Actions to have a macOS VM. Yes. I don't know if that still exists, but he was definitely violating the terms of service of GitHub Actions. 100%. Here, use a free macOS VM. Definitely not just GitHub Actions hooked up with Asleep. Hey, JuiceBox Heroes here. Hello, Juice. Exotic says, bro, can you write code in C++? I can write C++. I wrote C++ for, let's see, about 4 years. I haven't written a lot of C++ in a while, but yeah, I do know how to write C++. Earthcrawler says, how much time do I need to learn Python? I think you never really stop learning stuff in programming languages, so I don't know that you can possibly learn everything about a programming language. But I don't know. It depends what you're trying to get out of it. Like if you're trying to get, basic competency, like you could probably do that in a couple of weeks. If you have prior programming knowledge, if you're going from scratch to like, learning a programming language for the first time, you'll probably need a little bit more time than that. But it really depends on the person, the way they learn, what they're trying to get out of it, what sort of stuff you're trying to learn. And yeah, the answer is kind of hard to answer without knowing all those things. Is that a 9-key keyboard? What do you have it programmed to do, says Rexroof? Yes, if you do bang keyboard 3, which Juice actually just did above, technically it's 7 keys plus 2 volume controls. The volume control, well, the right knob, I haven't really done anything clever with it yet. Let's see if we have a file that's long enough to scroll. Babby file. Yeah. So this one right now is programmed to page up and page down. That was just the default programming. I haven't changed it yet. This one is a volume rocker. So if I'm out of my VM, you can kind of see that I can change the volume here. I actually use this one a lot. I find that it's really useful to not have to click over to there. These keys down here are programmed for my stream. So if I press this button here, it takes me into my selfie mode. This button here puts me into my normal programming scene. This one is my be right back screen. I'm not going to click that because it confuses people. These ones up here I use for my YouTube videos. So this is my selfie mode for my YouTube videos. And this one up here is the title screen. I'm not going to go to that again because it confuses. And this is my end screen. And again, I'm not going to go to that because it confuses. But yeah, it's oh, and this button up here goes to the second layer. I don't know what's programmed on the second layer. I don't think I've changed anything there. But I plan to do that at some point, but I just haven't yet. And the code for this is actually a little bit weird. Where is this? QMK firmware git status. And then we gotta what? Babby keyboards. Keybio median 9 key maps 90k. So I have a custom key map that makes all of this work. And this is my text editor running on Windows, just in case you wanted to see. But I have those keys mapped to F13 through I guess 18, and I have to send this special key sequence to make them work. And so what this does is it taps right control, which I'm running in a virtual machine. So when I tap right control, that removes that takes me out of the VM context and allows me to type on the non-VM context. But for some reason, there's like a weird race condition with this happening. So I actually have to tap the key a bunch of times to make it trigger. And then I tap right control again to put it back into the virtual machine. And the key is hooked up to an OBS key trigger, which the key trigger causes the scenes to change. Hey, what's up, Senior Rix? Thank you for the follow. Welcome to the stream. Hopefully you're doing well. Rexer says, I have a 9 key from Tech Keys that I need a program to do something interesting with. Yes, I actually soldered this together on stream. Earthcrawler says, I'm learning JavaScript these days. Any recommendations? Build a project. That's always my recommendation for writing code. Binary Sloth says, it would be good if you made a YouTube video to explain this because I've noticed people ask about the macropad a lot. There is a video for it. There is, Binary Sloth. Keyboard 3. Right there. there's the video. Check out this video. I talk about it. Lup says it's working in command. What is this magic, right? Right? Portable Python code working in commands. Okay, and you know, syntax highlighting too. It's pretty nifty. Babby's pretty cool. I think somebody asked what this theme is. I don't remember what it's called. Let me see. Home path. Config Babby. We also have Nano installed here. It's called Firefly Dark. That's what this theme is called. I don't remember where I got it from. And I guess I could, you know, I can open that in Babby as well. Workspace, VM, scripts, Babby.exe. See, it's gonna lag a little. Oh, it didn't lag. Oh, it lagged a little bit. Okay. Because Babby currently has trouble with long lines, and I don't know that I'm ever gonna optimize that, but because, you know, it works well enough for me. It's only on the initial highlight that it's slow, but anyway, it's called Firefly Dark. This is it opened in Babby. Oh, they were talking about LS. Oh. I have the GNU utils put on the path in command, so that's how LS is working. That's also how Witch is working as well. So it says user bin, but this is fake news. This is get bash's utilities. Basic PH asked what theme is that? How's it going, Basic PH? Welcome back. Good to see you. What OS is your host machine? Says Mimslade. We've got an emote for this. Or you can do Bang OS, and you can look at that as well. There's no F13 plus, you maniac. Some old keyboards used to have F keys higher than F12, but I don't think many modern keyboards do. Oh, Rexroof in fact says the same thing. Indeed. It's pronounced noodles. Are you talking about GNU utils? Yeah, I guess it does kind of sound like noodles. That's pretty good. I like that. Okay, so did I merge all these things? I don't have a GitHub notification. Oh. Oh, I see. Somebody asked a question. Isn't that the default args? Could have sworn the default args is that. Pre-commit hooks. Nope. Bingo, and you can do that with args fix. Bang. Cool. Okay. I could have sworn this defaulted to args fix, but you know, I guess sometimes I am wrong. Tom is me. How's it going, Tom is me? Says, I use the F13 to F24 keys to program some of my mouse. Cool. Hey, what's up, DomDF Coding? Hello, hello. Good to see you. Is this actually not merged? Why is this here? Oh, yeah. Okay, it's merged. GitHub is just confused/confusing. But look, pre-commit.ci is using pre-commit.ci. So meta. So meta. It's kind of cool. Kind of cool. This page actually, I initially thought this page was gonna look really bad. I still haven't fixed this up here. This part looks bad, but you know, down here, this isn't actually that terrible. This is, you know, it's pretty. It's not great, but it's better than I thought it was going to be, given how much time I put onto this page. But this page still looks like garbage. Like, there needs to be more spacing here, and like this probably needs to be up here. There probably needs to be a link to actual GitHub here so that you can click through to that. But you know, front-endy stuff. Pre-commit-ception. Insert image of snake eating its own tail here. Yeah, like the PyPy logo. the snack. Well, that says it looks bad. It just grew into you over time. Yikes! The truth hurts. The truth hurts. Okay, so let's talk about what we're gonna try and implement today. I'm actually gonna do this in a separate repository just because I want to see how much of a pain it's gonna be to microservice this stuff out later. But we need to look at how pre-commit does auto-update first, because I kind of have it a little bit off the top of my head. Like, I think we need to figure out the latest version, the latest tag, the list of hooks at both of those revisions, and I think that's it. We need to keep that in a cache. But let's look at the implementation and see what it looks like. Auto-update. Rev info, repo rev frozen. Oh, we also need the SHA at the tag. Right. Because we need to figure out whether we're doing bleeding edge or not. Should we support bleeding edge? Maybe the first pass will just be, well, I kind of want to make it work for everything, so we'll just do that. This looks like garbage places curves over selfie. Yeah. Mimslade says, what do you use for your VMs? Check out this video. I talk about my exact virtual machine setup. Box 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 4. It really threw me off there. I thought it was going to be 1 through 7, but then you just threw a 4 in there. Says, can freelance developers get projects in the US while living outside of the US for web development? Yes. It depends on the situation though, because like some people won't hire foreign freelancers just because people are awful. And sometimes there's complications with paying money in different currencies in different countries and stuff like that. But yeah, there's nothing stopping you from doing freelance work. I remember when I did some freelance work in like high school, and I didn't make much money because I didn't really have like either the expertise or the time to do it. But I don't know, I made a few $100. But some of them were projects in like, you know, Europe or whatever that needed some small web development stuff. I don't think there's anything stopping you from doing that on, you know, remotely. He uses virtual bonks. It's true. Hey, what's up, Voidrose? Hello. Flake Webby says, did you vote? I did indeed. I voted, I don't know, like 3 or 4 weeks ago by mail in California. So I voted a long time ago. But yes, I am well aware of the stress ball that is the election. Okay, so we're gonna need this regex again. And we actually probably need almost exactly the same set of code. But we're gonna rewrite it in a different way. So we need to figure out whether it's frozen or not. Frozen is not none. Where does that come from? Frozen is an optional stir. Freeze is a boolean. We got a boolean trap here. We got a double boolean trap here. I probably call this with keyword only args. That's probably not a big deal, but frozen equals none. If freeze, we grab this out. Okay. Alright, this seems reasonable. Let's do a little bit of architecture drawing here for how I kind of think I want this thing to work. I think we're gonna have 2 lambdas for this. This will be the periodic trigger update trigger. And this will be the auto update repo lambda. Hey, what's up, Dimitrios Valo? thank you for the follow. Welcome to the stream. Yes, it's a paint stream. Okay, so these would be the lambdas. This lambda has the job of for each install. Or I guess for each install, and then for each repo, add repo to queue. So this will just be like triggered from a periodic trigger. Periodic trigger, which will cause this guy to run. And I guess we'll have a queue here. So this is going to write to this queue. And this will be our auto update queue. And then this auto update repo will read from this queue. Read here. I probably don't need this to be a queue. I could probably also make this synchronously call this. The thing that I want to do with the queue is to make sure that this doesn't overload stuff. But we'll think about that. Hey, Mimslade, thank you for the subscription. Appreciate that. And then auto update repo will perform the actual auto update. I think that's kind of how I want this to work. There's one other component that'll be here, which will be a data store. Do we have a cylinder? We don't have a cylinder. What kind of drawing is this? I guess we can make our own cylinders. Look at this sick ass wobbly cylinder. I'm gonna kind of use this data store as a cache. Repo info, something like this. And this repo info is gonna have a couple of things. It's gonna have latest tag. It's gonna have latest tag SHA. It's gonna have latest SHA. It's gonna have hooks at tag and hooks at SHA. Oh, and of course it's going to have the repo as well. And the repo will be the key. And this lambda will use this as like a cache. It'll also have a TTL so that it can expire. Something less than 7 days, because I think I want to run this job once every 7 days. Something like that. Yeah. I think that's right. Something like that. Something like that. Paint, indeed. Air quality today is 25, which is weird because it was really, really bad last night. It was super smoky. I had to close my windows because it was like... It smelled like fire inside my house. And my house wasn't on fire. Juice says, is the music different today? It sounds kind of sci-fi-ish. Nope. I am further into the playlist than usual. I just, you know, clicked a sort of haphazard place to start. But nope, it's the same playlist as usual. In fact, I recognize this song too, because we hear this one pretty often. Hey, Hugo says, I can recommend ExceLDraw for such drawings, free open source web tool. Yeah, I know. Everyone, every time I do a drawing, someone's like, you should use this tool, or use this tool, or use this tool. I don't care. I'm gonna continue to use them as paint. It works well enough for me. I don't care whether they look good. They're there to explain what's going on. I actually don't really need to do these drawings. The drawings are more for you guys in chat so you can see what I'm thinking about. But I basically already have this idea in my head. I've been thinking about this for a couple days. But yeah, I know there's better drawing tools. I know how to use this one, and I don't care that the things look ugly. But Mimslade, now you've got the hello emote. Perfect. Miguel says, Anthony, have you ever thought of getting one of those Wacom tablets or like one of those other input devices where you can draw in there with a stylus instead of using a mouse? I have thought about getting a tablet. I don't think that it would be a good purchase for me. I don't think I would get much use out of it. Because I really only do drawings. I don't really do art anymore. I used to do a bunch of computer art way back in the day. I did a lot of pixel art as well. But I haven't done art in... Gosh, it's probably been 15 years since I've done a lot of computer art. And I think I would really only use it for these silly MS Paint drawings, and then at that point I would probably actually just use MS Paint. But yeah, I don't think I would get much out of a you know, a tablet personally. Cyberpenny says, don't forget to set it to use 3 space tabs. No. The neat thing about the way auto update works today is it doesn't actually care about the indentation. The indentation gets you know, gets figured out automatically. It's not actually, it doesn't care about the white space. It preserves that. But yeah, so I don't actually have to worry about indents. Hey, what's up, Small Brute? There's a cool tool for database diagram. Yeah, I don't actually have a database diagram here either. It's literally it's one data store, one table. And it's actually not even a table because it's Dynamo. I guess Dynamo still calls them tables despite them not actually being tables. But Tahira Slam says, how to kickstart a programming career. Learn how to program. That's the easiest way to kickstart it. If you have some money, either going to school or going to a coding boot camp is another good way to get started. I actually have a video explains getting started. Is that the right video? Yeah, I have a video where I talk about my advice for getting started with programming, but you can figure that out as well. I think he uses MS Paint to stay backwards compatible, otherwise he would use Paint 3D. Actually, do I have Paint 3D installed? Oh no, Paint 3D is the Windows built-in one. I'm thinking of Paint.net, which I do have installed. But yeah. You could just get a whiteboard and a better camera. Yes, exactly. That would be a better place to do that. You should use 3D sculptures to illustrate your ideas, says Stegosaurian. I don't think we're gonna do that. But that would be pretty memey. That would be something I would do. Hey, what's up, Antonio? Hello. I'm doing well. Kind of tired, but and my neck hurts, but other than that, I'm doing all right. Money, what's that? Money, what's that? You can also sleep with the right person. Yikes. Yikes. Well then. Okay, so this means that I'm gonna need Dynamo of some sort. This means I'm gonna need a queue. I'm gonna do this without a queue. The thing is, I don't want to spend sleepy time in Lambda. So, what's fine to do is a queue. The problem with queues, is they're kind of expensive with Lambda. I wonder if we could do SNS with a limited, yeah, like I wonder how much Lambda can queue SNS calls. Lambda SNS trigger. I'm probably getting too bogged down in the implementation details at this point. I should probably just start writing code. Asynchronous. Lambda queues the message and handles retries. Oh, so SNS might be fine. Invoking Lambda functions using SNS. Like, what happens if you set Lambda to have, because I know you can change the like width of lambda, so to speak. Lambda max concurrency. Yeah, you can set this. Well, that's the overall. I know you can set it per lambda though. Concurrency in lambda actually works similarly to the magical pizza model. What the fuck is the magical pizza model? Magical pizza model. Is this a thing that people know, or did like they make this up? Magical pizza model. I feel like they made this up. I feel like this is something that they invented. Unicorn glitter pizza. What the fuck? Why would you want this? That looks disgusting. This is when we thought we'd reached peak unicorn food madness. Think again. Unicorn pizza! What the fuck? What is the magical pizza model? I bet it's in. Oh, it's introduced up here. Understanding concurrency in lambda. Instead of dividing right into the guts of how lambda works, here's an appetizing analogy: a magical pizza. Woo. Okay. Anyway. Yeah, the thing is, like, I want a cube per hour, kind of. Because well, I should just not worry about this. I should just write the code and then fix it later. The problem is GitHub is going to rate limit me, and that's going to be tricky. That's going to be tricky. How would I use this to clone, update, and pull all starred repos? You would write a source similar to the existing ones, and probably use this one as a guide. I can link to its documentation source. Here's the creating your own source bit of documentation. Finding your own source. Here you go. You can create a source similar to the existing ones. Oh, this code is out of date. I should update that. I changed it to use typing name tuples. Similar to the existing ones, you can probably use this one as a guide. You could also write a few tests and submit it as a pull request. Is that source? Cool. Labels question. If you guys don't know about this tool, this is a tool that I wrote called All Repos. The idea is it allows you to clone all of your repositories, and you can apply sweeping changes on them. You can also search and do other stuff as well. So like if you see, I have all repos set up here, and let's say I want to find all of the file names where they are Python files, and they have from typing import named tuple, for example. And you can see across all my repositories, these are the files where I have imported that particular class, and so you can see all of that. But anyway, that's all repos. Oh, look, Hayden's here. How's it going, Hayden? Hello, hello. Good to see you. Polymathic Man says MS Paint architecture has worked fine for me. If you want to delay, you have to do something with CloudWatch events. Cool. Cool. Rocker Time says Pog. How's it going, Rocker Time? Hello, hello. First I heard of it. I like pizza. Never tried a magical one though. It's a slice of magic. Something a 2-pizza team would come with. Yeah. Hey, what's up, Jugmac? Hello, hello. That looks even worse than pineapple. It's the worst pizza I've ever seen. Even worse than the. Oh, I see. Yeah, that word, basic pH. Interestingly enough, every language except for English uses that for pineapple. But it's because English is weird. Hey, what's up, Zayotic? Hello, hello. Good to see you again. It's Hayden says, luckily my message seems to have escaped Anthony's gaze. I'm good, I'm good. It's good. I'm just slow on chat. That's the way things go. Jigmax says, all repos. I guess I've heard of it. Ooh. Yeah, you wrote a blog post about it. This guy's gonna handle his Cocoon Kid. What an interesting handle. Hey, what's up, outdated version? Hello, hello. Juice's meetings. All right, well, see you when you get back. Chom's here. How's it going, Chom? Magical pizza sounds like it has mushrooms. Yeah, I agree with you about this. I think pineapple is kind of a dumb name. I mixed English with Italian. Well, honestly, you mixed English with literally any other language, because pineapple is not pineapple in any other language. Pineapple Wikipedia. I think you can get this from here. And then where's the like translations? Somewhere in here they talk about it. I guess in Spanish it's piña. I guess Spanish is also pineapple in other languages. Yeah, here we go. So American English is pineapple.
Ananas.
In Arabic, it's that as well.
Abacaxi.
In Portuguese, it's completely different.
菠萝.
And Chinese is different, but you know, Croatian, Czech, Danish, Dutch, Spanish is different. Finnish, French, German,
Ananas.
Greek, even Italian.
Pineapple.
I guess Japanese takes it from English.
Pineapple.
Oh man, what is Korean is like?
Pineapple.
Korean takes it from English as well. But Norwegian, Polish, Portuguese, Romanian,
Ananas.
Russian, Swedish,
สับปะรด.
Thai, it's all over the place. Turkish. Oh, Ukrainian doesn't have a thing, but I'm guessing this is pronounced this similar to where's the Russian one? Yeah, it's spelled the same, so I assume it's the same as Russian.
quả dứa.
Vietnamese is completely different. But anyway, it's basically ananas in like fucking everything except for English. Isn't banana the same way? I like banana the same way. Oh no, it's just banana everywhere. I see. Okay, cool. But anyway. Come Forth Fishes says, Anthony writes code, do you use the tiling thingy from Pop! OS to arrange your windows? No, I am using Ubuntu, and I use the Anthony window manager, where I manually place them with my mouse. You can see that they don't match up here when this one doesn't have a tab open, so yeah, it's all manual window placement, because I'm awful. I have tried a tiling manager, I didn't like it. But yeah. Hayden says, as a Japanese language learner, I can always appreciate knowing the word for fruit I hate. I like how it was basically just pineapple loru. Just like, if I was gonna guess what it is in Japanese, that would have been my terrible guess. But anyway, there's a banana pizza. Oh, How about potato? I already closed the tab. I already closed the tab. Hayden says, in before Anthony writes a tiling manager with CPython extensions in Python and calls it AWM. I'm not gonna make a window manager. I'm not gonna make a window manager. If anything, I would make a terminal emulator, but I don't think I'm gonna make a window manager. Twitter says, what was the motivation behind all repos? There were kind of like 3 different motivations. One was I have a whole butt ton of open source software, and sometimes I would like to make a change to something and not have to do it manually 100 times. And so that was kind of the original motivation. So that's when I wrote it the first time. Actually, I think I wrote it the first time while I was at Yelp, because Yelp was starting to move into micro repos, and people were like, wait, we don't know how to update anything, and we don't know how to search for anything. And so I wrote all repos grep, and I didn't have a rewriting tool yet there. Maybe I did. I forget. It was a long time ago, like 2013. But it was micro repos. But also, I have so much open source stuff that it saves me a whole butt ton of time. Babby Window Manager. There we go, Oscar Allen. Aiden says, I mean, the word for taxi in Japanese is also literally takushi. I see. Drew says, interestingly, potato is the opposite in a lot of European languages, some variation on earth apple. Cool. Oh, you don't pronounce the U, so it's takshi. Takshi, I see. That's great. I like that. Hey, what's up, A-Hacker? Thank you for the follow. Welcome to the stream. Hopefully you're doing well. Babby OS says come for the fishes, right? Yeah, Babby Prime. Right. Okay, well, I'm out of water, so I'm gonna go fill up my water. I will be right back, and we'll see you guys in a sec. Oh, that didn't work. Alright, we're back. Hello. Okay. So let's start this project. Get in it. Auto updater. Auto updator. Auto update. Auto updater? Is it updater or updator? Updater. Updator. Okay, updater. Auto updater. Okay, commit allow empty -m empty initial commit. And I know we're gonna need our creds, so we're gonna copy this here. Local slash star.sqlite. We don't need any of our SQLite databases. We're also not gonna need local creds.prod. Creds.dev to local creds. We're only going to be working on this repository locally. We're not going to be using prod creds here. We're not going to be setting creds either. Q.log local store. Okay, cool. Ignore. Yeah, we'll probably have some tests. Didn't local have a get ignore? Oh, I see. It's untracked because of the get ignore. If I do get add local, it will just add the get ignore. Perfect. Pre-commit config to here. We don't need the Puppet validation, but we will need all of our Python hooks. That looks good. Rewrite Babby and Electron. Good luck. You would be, I think, the 6th person to write a text editor because I wrote a text editor. Hey, what's up, Unlimited Skies? Thank you for the follow. Welcome to the stream. Boydro says, does anyone know how to download a specific folder from a GitHub repo instead of having to clone the whole thing? So there is this thing called Git Archive, but GitHub does not support Git Archive for whatever reason. But this is how you export a particular directory from a remote. There's like a prefix in here somewhere. Path. Without an optional path parameter, all files in the working directory are included in the archive. So this allows you to get a subset of Git. GitHub does not support this, but if you want to do this with GitHub, there is a GitHub archive of directory. There's an API for this. Download only a directory. Maybe there isn't a thing for this. No, this is just wrong. That's just wrong. I could have sworn there was an API for this. Yeah, so like this is the Git archive way, but GitHub does not support Git archive because reasons. Oh, you can use SVN to do this. Ah, right, because GitHub is actually backed by SVN, and so you can clone any GitHub repository using SVN. So you can do it with SVN, but that's a hack. Here we go. This is what I wanted. Oh, this still downloads the whole repo, but then only extract support a certain part. I could have sworn there was like a sub API, like a sub TGZ API. Let's see, GitHub API v3 download. Delete. Repositories. What is this? No, I guess not. I guess there isn't one. But anyway, there's a couple of ways around that. Rexer says, did you say that GitHub repo is available as SVN? Yes. And I was at a talk in like 2012, and the some senior GitHub engineer was talking there, and His like bombshell opening thing was, guess what? GitHub is not backed by Git. GitHub is backed by SVN. And everyone was like, what? But it kind of makes sense. Like everything is kind of permanent on GitHub, whereas like, Git actually has deletable things, and so SVN actually makes a lot of sense there. But GitHub is basically just a libgit implementation fronting an SVN backend, which is kind of wild. But anyway, hey, what's up, Joe Derol? Hello, hello. Welcome to the stream. What are you working on? I've got a bang project command that you can check out, and I'll talk about what I'm working on today. Budrus says there has to be a way to clone the repo without downloading the objects and just check out that folder. You could do a shallow clone and get checkout no checkout and then get checkout dash dash. That would be one way to do that, but you would still have to pull down the objects for that branch. So like you could do, if you're just cloning master, you could do get clone dash dash depth 1, this no checkout. This will still pull down the objects for that grafted commit, but you'll see here we didn't spare any IO, so like none of the stuff actually got checked out on disk. And then you could do like get checkout test meta hooks. Checkout head, that, yeah, get checkout head, and then you could do that. So that's one way to kind of work around it, but you're still pulling down the objects for all of these things in here. But it's at least shallow, so you're not doing that. I actually did a video on this recently. Faster than get clone. So you can check that out. That gives you a way to do it at an arbitrary branch or commit or tag. But again, you still have to, you're still pulling down. Oops, I just typed du-h into Twitch chat. You're still pulling down, your half meg of Git, because it has essentially all these contents here. But one thing that I learned recently, even though this is a fresh clone, du-hs, even though this is a fresh clone and it's like 450k, Git GC can actually make this smaller. Oh wait, it made it bigger there. I guess Git GC sometimes makes the repository bigger than smaller? What? Anyway, there was pre-commit.ci found some sort of optimization here, due to shallow fetch, but I guess git clone doesn't do exactly the same as shallow fetch does, so it's not quite the same. Waiter says, do people never have the need to do this? Why is it not implemented? I mean, it is implemented with Git archive, just GitHub doesn't have this behavior. Probably because it's easy to abuse. It'd be an easy way to like overload their servers by serving that over and over. I have dry skin again. I'm gonna go put on some lotion. I will be right back. Just getting lubed up for chat. Surely people could do that anyway by setting up while loops to clone repos. I mean, kind of, but the clones are the super optimized path on GitHub, whereas like building a TGZ at an arbitrary revision and an arbitrary subdirectory is not going to be super cachable for them because it's not a super common operation. Hey, JSY, good to see you again. It's been a while. Hello, hello. Hey, Anthony, what's going? Haven't dropped by in a while. How's it going? Got a query for you. Is it possible to type a partial, including its callable return value type? The answer is yes, but also kind of no, unfortunately. I'll show you what TypeShed attempts to do here. TypeShed. If I remember correctly, TypeShed doesn't make any attempt to do this yet. But there is a brand new PEP that should make this much more possible. 2 and 3 func tools. Oh, it must be in 3, not 2 and 3. Func tools. Let's see if they've updated it. Partial. Yeah. They have, looks like what they've done with partial is they have just taken, they're only caring about the return value, but it basically turns any function that you pass into it into um, any, and all arguments are available. But there's this new PEP, parameter specifications. Oops, that's not helpful. Python, of course, I wasn't generic enough. PEP 612 should give you enough primitives in order to actually implement this, so you can use parameter specifications, and I think you can add and subtract from these. Concatenate, oh, you can add. Is there an anti-concatenate? That would be cool. But yeah, I don't. It might be that the type system is not powerful enough yet. But anyway, yes and no. Winter says, because the other day I wanted to just have a look at something in the kernel, but cloning the whole repo is taking forever. You can use the depth1 clone. Okay, github.com. Linus Torvald / Linux def equals 1. This should clone pretty. Oh, yeah. What is the actual repo? Did I just spell his name wrong? Linux kernel github. Torvald / Linux. It's not Linus. I see. This should clone pretty quickly, if I recall correctly. Maybe. I guess just to. Yeah, it should be done relatively quickly. Tiny frame drops? It must just be you. I have 0 dropped frames this stream. James Smith says no hope of going to Python 3.9 plus. Oh, I see. Well, you could backport. You can use the backport from typing extensions, so you don't need to do it with You don't need to use the typing module there. You can get away with typing extensions. Something would be somewhat similar to a generator type hint. Oh yeah, I see. Yeah, like here's a shallow clone of Linux kernel. That was not so slow. Then again, like I don't know, 8 megabytes per second is reasonably fast. But yeah, shell clone can make that a little bit better. It cries in less than 7 megabytes for some reason. I feel ya. My internet's been a little bit more stable over the last couple days, so that's been good. But I don't know. Anthony is dial-up, right? Noob44 says, out of curiosity, how up to date is the GitHub clone of the kernel? It should be up to date like within minutes. Because GitHub's mirroring stuff is pretty good. Let's see what the last commit is. Last commit was yesterday. But yeah, this is a mirror. Oh, it doesn't show it set up as a mirror. Interesting that there's pull requests here. Pretty sure they're not actually taken. They're not actually reviewed here. I think this is a bot that comments on every one of them. It's like, we don't take patches here. Yeah, kernel PR bot. Amazing. I love how many downvotes this has. Oh, it's probably because they've stopped the ability of making new pull requests here. It's just the most recent one, and so everyone just comments on that one, or thumbses on that one. They didn't thumbs on this one though. Maybe because they got that in before it was locked. Yeah, before it was locked. I see. Anyway. Voter says, by the way, any ref idea when pre-commit.ci will be available for others to try out? Technically, it's open alpha. You just need to know the domain name. So if you go to results.precommit.ci, you can set up pre-commit.ci right now today. Open alpha. Hey, what's up, Ben? Get ahead. Hello. Daniel Wise says, yeah, it's trolls. Remember that guy who tried to claim every name on PyPI? It's full of guys like him. I see. James Wayne says, what did I miss? Nothing. Literally nothing. I've done nothing. Cries and nothing. Okay, so I know I'm gonna need to do queuing. Well, actually, I think I'm gonna try and do it with SNS instead of queuing. So I'm gonna need pub/sub and key value store for this. So pre-commit.ci slash impl. Creator auto update. Can I create directory? Oh fuck. Damn it. Move auto updater. Is this gonna work? Cannot move to a subdirectory of itself. Anyway, that's what I wanted to do. So we've got auto updater, impl, alias, local creds, but we can delete a lot of these. Pre-commit.ci to auto updater, and we don't care about queuing. And we do care about pub/sub. We're going to keep that. We don't care about all of the APIs for key value store, but I'm going to leave those there for now. We will care about the key value store. We will do creds. I don't know what part of the creds we'll need. We'll just leave that for now. I know we don't need S3 bucket, so we can... Well, we'll leave it for now. I can clean it up later. We're not going to need S3. Okay, so we can get rid of queuing and storage. A little bit of copy paste here, but I think we'll be able to pare this down a little bit. There's a lot of copy and paste here. This is actually kind of unfortunate. I'll probably improve this some other time, though. Genius Wise says, last time I was here, pre-commit.ci was beginning. You make me feel like shit, Andy Writes code. I'm taking a month to build a simple PyTest plugin outside of work. Oh, I'm sorry. Oh, I guess you missed the, we did a launch stream, like, a couple weeks ago. But yeah, it's the alpha is out there, so anyone can use it now. I have a I want to show you guys a really cool thing that happened yesterday. Maybe it was the day before. Yeah, so yesterday I was making a pull request, and pre-commit.ci not only started but finished before Azure Pipelines had even started yet. You can see, like, I created the pull request at, oh, you can't see the creation time, but it was 18:36:01. So pre-commit was queued within 1 second, and it had started running within 1 second, and within 11 seconds it had completed, and then 15 seconds Azure Pipelines had started queuing, and then 20 seconds later Azure Pipelines had started, and then 2 minutes and 6 seconds later Azure Pipelines had succeeded. So pre-commit.ci was able to start and finish before Azure Pipelines had even gotten going, which is pretty cool. Hey, what's up, Broco? Says, hey Anthony, it's been a while. Congrats on launching pre-commit.ci. Well, welcome back. It's good to see you again. But says, I too want to make a startup-ish idea, but I guess I need to learn more. I see. Hit GG. Yeah. Is this when you sold out to Microsoft? Oh, yeah, I guess I did do that sponsored stream. They haven't had me do another sponsored. I want to do another sponsored stream. If you guys know of anyone who would sponsor some streams or YouTube videos that are like technology related, let me know, because I'd be happy to sponsor some. But yeah. Janus Wise says, I was meaning to ask you, what is the best approach for using pre-commit when the company does not permit fetching hooks and things from GitHub? Forking/private cloning is a bit painful. That was actually how we set it up at Yelp, is we had private forks of every public repository. I basically just did we just did repo mirroring, and that worked pretty well for us at Yelp. But the like, part of the design of pre-commit is that because it's based around Git repositories, it makes it really easy to set up, a private version of it, because it's not like locked to, a public resource. But Roller says, I have $20. Can I sponsor stream? This stream is sponsored by Rollers. Raid Shadow Legend sponsors. And I don't want, like, I don't know. I don't believe in NordVPN, for instance. And Get Hunt says, do you have plans to make a self-hosted version of pre-commit.ci? Yes, that is how I want to make money on this. I want to be able to sell like a corporate version that people can run at their companies, or they could run in open source if they really wanted to. But yeah, I do want to do that at some point. Technically, it's easy to do right now because all the Terraform is set up, so like you can basically go from 0 to a working thing immediately. Oh, is there a shitposting PR you want me to look at? Okay, I can look at that. James Spice says, you know how things can be in corporate? InfoSec are watching every single thing, really, so yeah, that makes sense. Update panic.c. What do they do? Wow, this PR takes forever to load, presumably because a bajillion people commented on it. What and people are children. That's what happens, I guess. Like Man says, you have good hair and a happy girlfriend. Keeps or Roman? What is keeps or Roman? I don't know what that means. Alexa says, have you used CloudFormation? If so, how do you like it compared to Terraform? I used it a long time ago. If I can not write YAML, I will be much happier. Let's just put it that way. If I don't have to write YAML, I'll be much happier. Hey, what's up, Alterpliz? Thank you for the follow. Welcome to the stream. Hopefully you're doing well. What was I doing? Oh, we don't need this. Those files, grab, storage, rm-f. Those source files, grep, queuing, -f. Right. Right. I'm happy right now. Well, by all means, I am not. Alexa says, I'm using it right now because that's what they use in the open source project I started from, and I don't really like it. I feel that. And Ganahan says, I've been meaning to write a project that converts CloudFormation to Terraform with the HCL grammar. My side project idea bin is overflowing. Yo, you and me both, and Ganahan. I feel like I never get around to actually doing all of the things that I want to do. Scratch. This is just my open source ideas. Oh. I say I never get around to things, but I did that one. Yeah, I haven't done it yet. But anyway. Ultrapliz says, don't hate some hackers, you must hate the code. I mean, don't hate the hacker, hate the code? You see. Hackers don't hack people, code hacks people. Oh wait, that's the opposite of the message that I wanted to send. Damn it. But anyway. This is kind of messy. So I think some of this is specific to other stuff, but oh, we also need our requirements as well. I know we need both 3. I know we need PyML. I don't know what else we're gonna need. Minimal.text. I need PyTest. Probably need coverage. Probably need cov defaults. That's out of order. VF. Requirements tools. Upgrade requirements. That'll get us our set of stuff. Is Terraform good on public clouds like Vultr and Scaleway? Asking for a friend. I have no idea. I've really only used it for AWS. Hey, what's up, Medrin? Hello. I finally found someone coding in Python. There's quite a few people that usually write Python on Twitch. But yes, indeed, we write Python here. Install -r requirements.text requirements dev. Oh no! Don't install some random person's thing called requirements dev. No, silly typo. Anyway, there we go. Python-c import auto updater dot typeface. This should error. Maker auto updater data touch init.py. I don't think I wrote an init.py in here either. Updater data tables.py. How did I name this here? We have this. And we only have one, we're only gonna have one table here. And what is the schema of this gonna be? It's going to be, what? What do I want to call this? We already have a table called repos. We already have a table called clones. um... For lack of a better name. Table, and it'll have hash key as repo. Actually, don't think I need any subkeys for this. I don't need any indices either, or a range key, or an index key. It's actually way simpler. This also probably means that I can fix a lot of this stuff as well. But anyway, it's copy paste from the other one. We need the errors module too. Unique constraint error. Errors.py. Okay, I think we have everything. All of our boilerplate code. This is all of our like interface code. It's kind of gross, but it's fine. We can fix that at some point. James Wayne says, does os.rename not work when copying from, let's say, temp to home if they're on different partitions? If so, what do you need to use for this? Yes. So you cannot rename across mount points on Linux. And I don't think you can rename across drives on Windows either. This syscall just doesn't permit it. So what I usually do is kind of a two-step process. Let's see if I can find one in pre-commit. I know pre-commit does this. And I usually use os.replace instead of os.rename because replace has fewer race conditions on Windows. Os replace. Nope, that's not one. It's this one. Replace. It's kind of the same idea. This is not the full idea that I want though. Store. This one definitely does. Os replace. The music has stopped. Please continue playing music. Yeah, here's an example. So what I do here is, where is the temp file creation? Where's the temp file? Oh yeah, here we go. So I make a temporary file inside of the directory that the destination file exists at. Here I apparently just don't clean up the file, which is fine, I guess. Oh, it's fine because the file doesn't actually matter. It's really only whether it ends up with a final condition. I really should do try finally rm this, but there was no need for it, I guess. But basically, I make a temporary file in the directory of the target place. Then I write to that temporary file, and this would be like copy. You could use os.copy or whatever, shutil.copy. And then finally, I do os.replace at the end. So I basically, you can't really rename across drives. You can copy to next to the new location, then you can replace into place this one, and then you can delete this one. So you can't really do it as an atomic operation, but that's probably the best you can, or the closest you can get there. But yeah. Fartingcat says, what is your keyboard? If you do bang keyboard, you can learn more about my keyboard. Hey, what's up, Leonidas? Oh, Leonidas. Leonidas, thank you for the follow. Welcome to the stream. Medrin says, I'm watching the hands to see if he will use the left hand to hit the spacebar. I use these. Maybe it's these? I forget whether it's 7 or 8. I'm pretty sure I use only these 7 fingers when I keyboard. You can see me cheat while typing. Although I type pretty fast, so you might miss it, but yeah. What's up, Cody Ferguson and Fardon Cats? Thank you both for the follow. Welcome to the stream. Sammy Blaze says, sorry for bringing up this topic again. But could you give some more information on what you meant by GitHub is backed by SVN? I couldn't find anything Run this on Google. So, well, so GitHub manages this library called libgit2, and what libgit2 is, it's a way to write C code that provides a Git frontend, and you can have a configurable backend. And so what GitHub does is their storage of Git repositories is in SVN repositories, and then their frontend is libgit2. You can also access GitHub using SVN. I don't think I have SVN installed anymore, though. I don't. But you can use, I can install SVN real quickly. rmti ubuntu focal bash apt update and apt install SVN. Hey, what's up, Ionic Neil? Thank you for the follow. Welcome, welcome. Oh, it's Subversion. Apt install Subversion. Subversion. Purple Kush. What is that keyboard? Thank you, Dom DF Coding. Appreciate that. Cody Ferguson says, "What is proper if syntax?" What? Hey, what's up, Jacob Pratt? Hello, hello. But you can do like svn co github.com/ I don't know, /pi upgrade, for instance. And permanently accept. And it should allow me to clone a SVN repository of my Git repository. Oh, it's gonna take forever because there's a million tags. I forgot about that. SVN tags are not the most efficient way to store things. This is gonna take actually forever because there's like 100 releases, but so I'm just gonna cancel it. But anyway, you can see this working. M2dev.net says should change the bot to just look at messages for keyboard instead of needing the command. Maybe that would be an idea. And Ganon says I'm off. Good night. Well, thanks for stopping by. Anik Neil says, what are you doing? Thank you, Sammy Wallace, for showing the bang project command. But not this is random thoughts. When I started learning Python, I always thought that everything should work the same across all platforms without changes. Guess it's not really the case. Are these kinds of problems prevalent in other languages too? Yeah. Things are not necessarily portable. Python tries really hard to provide you with helpers that make things more portable, but there's kind of always going to be cases where you'll have special code for special platforms. Almost always Windows. Hey, what's up, Pethagog? Thank you for the follow. Welcome to the stream. James Wayne says we have options or opinions on using the manual you showed us with shutils, or is it just either one is fine? Do we have opinions on the shutils? Does shutils do this for you? shutil. Shutil that move. Recursively move. Oh. Yeah, fuck it. Just use shutil.move. Yeah. This is essentially the same approach that I was talking about. This is less atomic, because this copy 2 will not do directory, although you can't os.replace a directory anyways. So this will fail if it's a folder and it already exists. So you have to look out for that, but you wouldn't be able to really do anything with that anyway. Oh, this is cool. Huh. I didn't know that there were fast copy syscalls. But that's pretty dope. But yeah, just use this then. Never mind, I don't know why I was telling you the more complicated way. Cody Ferguson says, this is what I have. If message equals bang E. Well, in Python, you need to use double equals, at least. Let emphasize. Oh, I see. Looking forward to the realization of the rumors of Windows switching to be a layer on top of Linux. Yeah, yo, that'll be cool if that happens. I would be pretty hyped about that. There are differences in the way NT handles file systems, though, so it would probably still have some of those quirks, but I don't know. It'd be cool. Okay. It's gonna work. Git commit-m auto updater. Oh, we also we actually need more tables in this. We need some of the tables from over here. Oh, store. No. This is the wrong repo. We also need. Shoot. Oh, we're gonna do a scan though, so. Oh, we haven't implemented scan. We have not implemented scan. Oh, we need this as well. Tables. Which means we need all of this code. We don't need put or delete though. Or HTML URL. Oh, but we need repos. Oh, we have install repos. Okay, perfect. Perfect. We need this chunk of code. Data install .py. Why was creds used here? Oh, creds is used for that. KV store should be imported. Oh, blank line it in a file. I got you. Wait, why did that not? Oh. Because I have a global Python 3, that makes sense. 4AG2 says, can I find some scripting exercises or challenges to strengthen my Python scripting? I would recommend working on projects. Here's my video that I suggest about getting started with programming. Hayden Dev says, depends Python YAML. Ansible depends Python YAML, but is not installable. Why is it not installable? Shouldn't it be Python 3 YAML? Hey, what's up, Juice? Hello. Welcome back. I assume your meeting is done. Okay. Actually, do we even have install get? I think we want install scan. Dang. Auto updater. Data install. We actually don't need install get. We need install get all. List install repos. Actually don't have scan implemented, so Boto 3 scan. Scan is the like slow terrible thing. Scan operation returns one or more items and attributes by accessing every item in a table or a secondary index. Use filter, we don't need to filter. Whenever scan items exceeds the max dataset size limit, the scan stops and the results are returned. Oh. I wish Boto 3 made this easier. I wonder if the resource API is easier. Client.scan. I want the resource API scan. Nope, it returns back last evaluated key. Ugh. Is there a pagination helper? There's not. Gross. For more information, see parallel scan. Whoa. Fancy. Is there like a parallel scanner built into Boda 3? I don't want to write code for that. I want to just use it. Scan, filter, blah, 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 blah. Total segments. Oh, this is if you've implemented parallel scan. We have not. We have not implemented that. Okay, so we have to look at last evaluated key and the response. Exclusive start key. The primary key of the first item that the operator uses that was returned for this. But anyway, we'll implement that later. We can implement the local version now. We can do something else later. Setting a PPID's Trusty worked. Yikes. Trusty's super old. Sammy Voice says, going to bed, good night. We'll catch the replay tomorrow. Well, thanks for stopping by. I'll see you around. I guess we can just do return. Install repos. Install equals install. I'll just copy this. For res in kvstore.scan table name. And then repos equals tuple install repos. Repo for repo and res repos. No comma there. Now we gotta implement scan. Because MyPy should complain here about two things. Yeah. New type annotation for topics. Fake topic. We'll actually put real values in there later. Come on. Oh, auto updater data install. Then we should get KV store. Should get a complaint about KV store not having scan. Sense auto updater iFace. Let's see. Let's actually pare this down to what we need. We're gonna need get item. We're gonna need put item. We're going to need. Oh, actually, do we need put bulk? No, we just need put item. We don't need update item. We don't need delete item. We need these and scan. Callable stir to list ticked stir any. 1, 2, 3. We can get rid of all of these other things. Query item. Don't need query protocol. We just need get item protocol. Cool. Get item. Put item, and we need scan. Local kvstore.scan. Get item. Put item, and we need scan. Okay. updater impl star slash kvstore.py. Okay, so we need get item. They don't need query or query IDX. We need put item. We don't need put item unique. We don't need put bulk. We don't need update. We don't need delete. We do need scan. I think this also means... Oh, this is the AWS one. Yeah. So that's kind of what this is going to look like. I'm not entirely sure what we will see there, but we'll figure that out in a second. This is where we have a lot of code to prune, so we don't need query or query IDX, or we do need put item. We don't need unique, we don't need bulk, we don't need update, we do need scan, table stir, dict, or list dict stir any. A second. But we can get rid of this whole concept of IDX. Because, yeah, it's a little bit simpler. And we don't actually have this unique constraint anymore. Sequence is not needed. Simple local KV store. Oh yeah, we don't need this. We actually don't need range key stuff either, so we can actually make this a lot simpler. But it's not for now. List imported but not used. That's because this should have been list dict stir any. We don't need entering key. 46. Yeah, so this is where we'll have to do our pagination. To do paginate. Okay, so modify should be a little bit happier now. A little bit happier. That looks decent. I think we can implement the local version of scan right now pretty easily. Impl local KV store scan. I think we just do this. With db table as db, db.execute, select value from data, not fetch all, turn JSON.loads, v for v in, oops, rows. Yeah. think that's scan. That's easy. That's easy. Cody Ferguson says, do you know of any way of pressing keys in Python? Are you trying to like control like mouse and keyboard? Or are you trying to like macro? Like what are you trying to, what do you mean by press keys? Are you trying to type in a terminal? He says yes. What do we have here? What am I looking at? Ah, cool. You have set up some Ansible stuff. That's neat. I like it. I like it. Hey, what's up, Raven Master? Hello, hello. Welcome to the stream. Pinwheels says could try pi input. Ooh, I think I've heard of that one before. Yeah, that would maybe be helpful. Okay, I'm gonna drop this code into one of the other into pre-commit.ci where I know I have data. Let's local. Only one row. Here we have hopefully a couple things. Count one. Yes. No, that's only one row. Dang it. I can create more. Dot worker. Dot builder. Dot run. Runner image latest. Dot. Should populate some data. That should populate us some data. Knock on wood, it's been 2 hours and I haven't dropped a frame, so I'd say today is going decent in the frames department. Because we're having a lot of internet problems before, but it seems like things are going a little bit better now. This is taking a while because it has to build some stuff. But should get there pretty soon. Actually has to build a lot of stuff, so maybe that's gonna take a while. I probably should have used the other demo repo that has fewer things, but Unreal says, just swapped to Linux 3 days ago. First thing I did was delete my desktop. It was wonderful. Wait, do you just like boot straight into terminal? Oh, you mean, did you do that on accident or did you do that on purpose? I'm confused. Pre-commit.ci impl local KV store. Pre-commit.ci.impl.local import KV store. KV store.scan. Students. It's gonna be a smaller. Table is not defined. Should be a lowercase t. Yeah, it's fine. We're gonna delete that code anyway. Cool. Okay, so the local implementation works. Just need to do the AWS version of that. Oh, you did purge remove Python 3.8.5. Yeah, that seems like not a good idea there. Pinwheels. I've done that before though. You can just install, what is it, Ubuntu desktop. Oh, if you're Ubuntu. I figured a different operating system, you're gonna have different packages to install. But yeah, that's how you can get back there. Cody Ferguson, are you trying to type into a website, or what are you trying to type into? Just like an arbitrary application, or what's your goal? What's your actual problem? You might be stuck in what's called an XY problem, where you think you have like a very specific solution to a problem, but if you take a step back and talk about what you're actually trying to solve, there's probably a better way to approach it. But maybe. Oops, I didn't mean to click. Trying to type in a command line. Okay. Why though? Like, are you trying to run a program? Because you would probably just use like the subprocess module for that. If you need to like actually like start up a command line program and interact with it though, you might want to look into like tmux. So like here I'll give you an example. So let's say tmux is already running. Tmux. You can do like tmux send keys. I don't know. Babby. And then tmux send keys enter. And then this opened up my text editor. Tmux send keys hello world. Oh, it leaves out the spaces, I guess. Tmux send keys. Let's do a replace. Control R. No, is it control underscore? Tmud. Tmux control underscore. No, that's not the thing we want. So we can control C that. It's control backslash, right? Yeah. So we're gonna tmux send keys hello, and then tmux send keys enter, tmux send keys hello space, and then tmux send keys enter, then tmux send keys A, and replace everything. Anyway, you can kind of see like this is one way that you could control a terminal. But if you're just like running a program, you don't need to do any of this. Like you could just do like, if you're in Python, import subprocess and subprocess.check call. Maybe you're running, I don't know, echo hi, for example. And this will run that program in the background. So that would maybe be something that's a little bit easier than that. But I don't know what you're trying to solve precisely. But maybe that gives you some ideas. What was I doing? Okay, we implemented the local version of scan. I think I'm just gonna raise not implemented error for the AWS version of this for now, and I can come back to implementing this later. Raise not implemented error. And paginate. Oh, it's too long. Let's paginate. There we go. Does tmux come with Python? No, tmux is a separate program. It's a terminal multiplexer. Did I do a video on tmux? I don't use tmux all that often. Oh, I did do it. Well, this video. I think I go over the basics of tmux at the beginning, actually. This is an old video. This is before I had nice lighting. Wow, it must have been really sunny outside that day. Oh, and I have a keyboard on this one, so you can see the keyboard shortcuts that I type. Okay, yeah, I go over the basics of tmux in this video, so you can learn about that there. But there's also like a really, I'm not gonna spoil the video because the video is actually really cool. But there's a really cool technique that I show in this video as well. But you'll just have to watch the video to find out. But yeah, tmux doesn't come with Python. Tmux is a separate program. Okay, cool. But it looks like this is good to go now. Include interfaces from base project. Okay, bunch of boilerplate code. Let's get to the actual interesting code. Okay, so we have our two components here. We need to scan repos, and then we need to, for each repo, and then trigger. I guess we're not gonna have a queue, we're probably just gonna use SNS. So maybe this is SNS instead. And I'll figure out whether SNS scales to what I need it to do. So we have auto updater worker, I guess. Worker slash, what was the first worker called? The periodic worker. Do if name equals main. So this will be for running it from the command line. And return 0, and we have some other interface for when it invokes from Lambda. Look at how that works. This one is invoked from SNS. But that's a message. I don't know what message we'll get for periodic. Actually, oh, we have this entirely separate. Oh, because I gotta do this little hacky thing. Right. Right. Shit. That's fine, I guess. That's fine. YOLO Schmolo, welcome back. Good to see you. Have you used draw.io? Let me see which one this is. The answer is probably yes, but I'm okay using Paint for this. Oh yes, I have used draw.io. This has the nice, like, grid-based stuff. Yes, I have used draw.io. This is basically, what is that tool called? Product managers use a lot. Maybe Juice knows what this is called. But anyway, I'm okay using Paint. I'm going to continue to use Paint. I know there's a million of these things that do everything way better, and it looks way better. I just don't care. I don't use Paint. Hey, what's up, Xco Quake? Thank you for the follow. Welcome to the stream. What about Excalibur? I've used that one too. I'm just going to use Paint. I did for without any messages. Lucid, that's the one. Lucid charts, yes. Vizio says YOLO Schmolo. Paint is my passion, says Beldathis. I don't know. I think a Paint is like a staple of the stream, so we're gonna keep it for now. Okay, from pre-commit. No. Auto updater dot data dot install. Is it installs or installs? Data install. From auto updater dot data install import install get all. Okay. And we also need auto data.iface import pubsub because we need to invoke pubsub here. And then for install and install get all. What do we need to make this happen? We probably need the install ID. Don't need the URL or the account stuff. Pubsub.publish. Actually, we need to do for repo in install.repos. Pubsub.publish, what does that look like? Publish, callable stir, dict stir any. I'm guessing the stir is the topic name. So this will be auto update repo will be our topic, and we're gonna have some sort of mapping here. And that mapping is going to have install ID, install.install ID. And it's going to have repo ID install dot repo ID. It's actually pretty straightforward. Actually less data than I expected. I don't think this can fit on one line. Oh, this looks ugly. Why did I mess this up? Cool. Xgo Quake says, I'm still in Python 2 in my company. Weird seeing Python 3. Oh no. I'm so sorry, Xgo Quake. That's really unfortunate. Okay, this script is actually super straightforward. This is much easier than I expected it to be. Much easier. Local pub sub. How does publish work here? Oh, it just passes the JSON as an argument. Interesting. Auto update repo. Which will be auto updater dot worker dot auto update repo. Repo.py. Let's see how I did this in the other repo. Pre-commit.ci worker update install. Oh, it just comes as a string? Oh, because it's just a JSON. It's not JSON yet. Process message args.data. Process message start none. And then install ID equals contents. Install ID equals contents, repo ID. This is where destructuring would be nice, but there is no map to structure in Python. Maybe one day. But yeah, and here's where we'll do the actual logic part of this. Cool. Ericars, you triggered the bot. You got it perfectly. Duprat says S event curly brace. I must have fixed that already, because I don't have the word event anymore. But yes, the bot answers the question. It is not them. Cool. Let's try this. We actually need the data store from the other repository. Local installs. I'm just gonna copy it over. Auto updater dot worker dot periodic. Ah, still is the bug. Okay. We found it though. Thank you for that, JB Pratt. We got there eventually. Installs repo has no attribute install ID. Does it not now? Data. Is it just ID? Oh, it's installs repo.install.install ID. Do I have the word install enough in this line? 1, 2, 3, 4. Arg parser is not defined. Arg parser.argument parser. That's not what we want. Stir has an attribute read. Should be loads. Install ID, repo. Cool. Oh, we need the account name. That's missing here. Account name equals contents account name. That will come from the install. Account. Actually, let me see what it's called in here. Account name. Install.account name. Cool. Cool. The other server says, hello. University started last week again. I'm not at my desk. When I'm not at my desk, I just fall asleep. What did I miss? Yeah, I know that. I know that feel. Eric guy says, can we consider using it? It seems pretty neat. Yeah, I wrote this editor from scratch. If you watch that YouTube video, you can learn more about it as well. Oh no, why is my phone buzzing? Shush. No buzz. Pinwheel says, could use a few more, I think. Few more whats, Pinwheels. Few more whats. Okay, so from here we should be able to use the GitHub API to download the pre-commit config. And then do the actual works. But I will need the GitHub API stuff. So let's just print this for now. And install ID, account name, ID repo. Just to make those variables used. Okay, cool. Could use a few more installs online, yeah. Exco Quake says IPDB for the win. So I have been hella burned by IPython so many times that I have sworn off of it and I will never touch anything close to it ever again. So I don't use IPDB. Also, I don't like having to install things just to use it, so I'm just gonna continue to use PDB. And actually I have a nice video about using the debugger as well. Is that gonna work? Yes. So check that out. Hey, what's up, Lokizor? Thank you for the follow. Welcome. Hey, what's up, RKJ? How's it going? Shaz is back. How we doing? We're going. We're getting close to the point where I can actually do not boilerplatey stuff, and we're gonna actually write some of the thinking bits of this code. Hey, what's up, Bino Sayami? Thank you for the follow. Welcome. Making coffee and about to dive into physics. It never stops, and it really never does. It really never does. Really never does. Neither does the suffering, says James Boyd. Oof. Okay, but we need to copy the GitHub API stuff from the other thing. What do we need to do here? We need to make... We need a lot of this stuff from the other one. Also we're gonna need to make Lambda stuff for this. We'll figure out the Lambda stuff later. Make skeleton for Lambda workers. just had a little bit of a headache. Hopefully that's not gonna last. Bino Siamese says, what are we doing today? If you do bang today, you can check that out. James Boyd, you've only been here for 2 months? Whoa, I feel like you've been here longer than that. But, oh, we can see follow age for somebody who just followed. So that's not the name that I wanted. Time of late. There we go. Following for a minute! Nice. Nice. Cody Ferguson says, I finally have no errors by Python script. Nice. That's good. That's good, that's good. James Point says, 2 months and 26,000 channel points. Seems like I found where I spend my free time. Nice. And Juice has only been falling for a month? Pff. For shame, Juice. Way to unfollow. Okay. I need to copy the GitHub API stuff. Pre-commit.ci. You have 100,000 channel points though. I am very dedicated, yeah. An updater. Okay, so we don't need either of these, so we gotta delete a bunch of stuff here. Server to server header, access token headers, user to server headers. I don't know which one of these we'll actually be using. Yeah, get OAuth token. We don't need this. API get installation access token. We do need this. We do need this. We need to get that. We don't need current user. We don't need list installations. We don't need installation repos. We don't need to retrieve a pull request. We might need to do something like that later. We don't need to set commit statuses. Okay. But we need to... What do we do? Need to be able to retrieve a file. GitHub app. Guy. There's like a list of APIs I can use somewhere. Prerequisites, the Ruby programming language, NTY. Yeah, this is a tutorial. I don't want a tutorial. Using the GitHub API in your app. Is this what I want? Oh, this is still the same tutorial. Hey, what's up, GY Media? Thank you for the follow. Welcome to the stream. Let me see if we can find... Yes, here we go. It's the API docs. Hey, what's up, Trace on F10? Thank you for the follow. Welcome, welcome. What is this? Is this issues? I guess this is the same REST API as normal. So we want repository contents. Repository... contents, here we go. Git repository content. Oh wait, there was like a download a file. Nope, that's archive. I just want a particular file. Surely there's a way to do that, right? Git repository content. Specify the file path. There we go. Perfect. Hey, what's up, Yarp28? Thank you for the follow. Welcome, welcome. Okay, so this is the URL that we're going to use. API get repo file. So we're gonna take we need access token, just gonna be a stir. We need probably repo stir and path stir. And I guess we can return bytes. That probably seems the most reasonable API, although we're going to be working entirely with text, so fuck it, let's return stir. Resp equals rec api.github. com slash repo slash repo slash content slash path. I don't think we need to do anything there. I don't think we need to do a special method either. Headers. Figure out what array API headers is. I know we need to use AT headers, but I think we need something else too. Maybe just this. I think we need data. Let's actually see if we can get this to work. I think we actually have enough of the pieces to make this work. And this is the part where I show my creds. So let's not fuck this up. Oh. Let's set up activator as well. Add activator. That way, when I cd into this directory, it will automatically source my virtual env for me. Oh boy. Oh boy. King is not a follower. Yeah. Hey, what's up, Munzie? Hello, hello. You need more badges. Yeah, I do need sub badges. I've been meaning to do that. I still haven't done them yet. Oh, do you mean more emotes? Yeah, I have emotes to do as well. Or are you talking to Juice? I don't know who you're talking to. We got juicy collabs during the 12-hour stream. Yeah, Juice should be by for the end of the 12-hour stream. Juice is actually going to be streaming that day as well. Aircar says, I caught you one stream where you deployed your alpha build of the app, so I'm wondering what you are up to now. I'm adding another feature to that app, actually. Aircar. I'm adding the auto-update feature because I launched the alpha without it being feature complete because I wanted to get something out there. Bina Saimi says, I'm doing my senior year in computer engineering and I feel like I haven't learned anything in real programming. What's the best way to move forward? My recommendation, as I always say on this channel, is work on a personal project. Something that you're going to be personally motivated to build and learn as you're building it. But yeah, that's my advice there. Oh yeah, we're going to be playing some Portal 2 at some point too, so we can do some other stuff as well. All right, when is the 12-hour stream? The 12-hour stream is this Saturday. So Saturday, the 7th of November, and it's going to be starting at 10 Pacific, which Pacific time just changed, so double check your calendar based on that. The calendar event is up on the calendar, which is linked below on Twitch. But yeah, we're going to be doing a bunch of stuff. Michaela wants me to do a Hack the Box, so I'm going to figure out which one she wants me to do. We're going to be doing a Hack the Box. I'm going to be playing some video games. We're going to be doing some code as we do. We're going to be playing some games with Juice. We're going to be, you know, eating food. And we're going to be doing some baking. I think for baking, we're going to be making pumpkin bread. At least that's what I want to make. Maybe Juice will overrule me and we'll do something else instead, but I want to make pumpkin bread. From autoupdater.github. I guess we could just do import GitHub API. No module named JWT. Right. Right. We need JWT. Right. Upgrade requirements. Get us all of our stuff installed there. And we're gonna do sub badges. Maybe. I might do some more pixel art. We might do some sub badges. I don't want to do art. Oh hey! Cryptography is now doing ABI 3 wheels. That's pretty hype. That's kind of cool. Speaking of ABI 3, I did a intermediate to advanced video today that I uploaded on my YouTube channel, which you guys can check out, where I talked about ABI 3 and why I'm so excited about it. It's such a cool piece of tech. Well, I guess I could have done explains ABI3. Yeah, that would have made sense, but not this. Thank you for that. Pip install. That install. Yeah. Ooh. My headache is getting worse. It's not good. I want to work on this though. Okay. Not found pre-commit.ci. Right. GitHub API dot API get installation access token. Do we have the list? This is the installation ID, and then repository IDs equals this, and permissions equals, I believe it's contents read. We're not gonna show that token. Don't you all get excited here. GitHub API get repo file. Repo is going to be utility2/demo and pre-commit config.yaml and token. Okay, very careful to not show the creds here. Should be able to look at this response object. Hey, and there it is. Contents encoded as base64. Oh. I hope it's always base64. I should check that. Pumpkin bread sounds perfect. Cool. Oh, pumpkin bread. Pumpkin bread sounds perfect. Just go in there and punch in the body can only feel one pain at a time. Well, Juice is very far away right now. She can't just walk in here. It's a hot token, yeah. Well, it says, gonna go to sleep. Thanks for the stream and awesome educational content. Well, thanks for stopping by, Build Atlas. I'll see you around in the future. Let me actually look at this endpoint and see if it's always going to be base64. Because if it's always going to be base64, coding base64. Response if file is a file. Okay, encoded content. It looks like it'll always be base64. So that's good. If it's a submodule. Oh god, if it's a symlink? Do I want to support symlinks? I don't want to support symlinks. So wait. Oh, target. Okay, I see. So that would be how we could download the target of the symlink. I think if it's a symlink, we're just gonna raise. Type file. Yeah. So we can probably do assert resp.json type equals file. Import base64. Assert resp dot. Was it resp encoding? Resp.json encoding. Let's go to base64. Contents equals base64.b64 decode resp.json improt. My typos get way worse when I have a headache, so that's why I'm struggling with this. JSON content. Code. And we got ourselves a pre-commit config. Dope. Content. Code. And then we can just do return. API get repo file. Cool. This is actually, I think, going to be way easier than I expected. Oh, making a commit is going to suck, though. I seem to remember the GitHub API for making commits is garbage, and it's much easier to just get cloned at that point. But we'll see what we do there. Hey, what's up, Specs? How's it going? Welcome back. What's going on? I've been doing assembly and writing a dot file manager. Wild. What are you doing in assembly? What are you doing in assembly? Nothing really. I know that feel. I know that feel all too well. Let's see. Pre-commit. Let's see. Big contents equals from auto updater dot github import GitHub API. GitHub API. Let's see. Read token equals GitHub API dot API get installation access token for install ID repository IDs. Oh boy. Repo ID and then permissions equals contents read. Doesn't need to be a list. Hey, what's up, RCC52? Thank you for the follow. Welcome, welcome. Get repo file. Repo pre-commit config.yaml. Then read token. Hey, what's up, Raster Bunny? Hello, hello. Welcome to the stream. Hopefully you're doing well. Nothing learning, just learning the basics. Nice. Hey, what's up, Solus? Hello, hello. Just woke up from a nap. Didn't get much sleep last night, and work's been kicking my butt. Well, I'm glad that you're working. I'm excited for you. I didn't get much sleep last night either, and it's not because I was staying up to watch Steel Action. I just couldn't fucking sleep. I went to bed at like 10, but then like just couldn't sleep. Woke up in the middle of the night and just was like zombie mode. Spec says I'm starting to get a grasp of it though. Like it's actually starting to make sense to a certain degree. Nice, that's good. Updater dot worker dot periodic. Okay, so this should print out the pre-commit config. Where did we go wrong? I ran exactly the same thing. How could it have forward? Which call failed? API get repo file. Oh, right. Right, this is supposed to be account name / repo. Alright. Yay! Okay, so that's kind of the first step to this. The next part is, basically doing the auto update logic. But let me commit what I have so far. git, let's see, add GitHub API. Contents request. Oops. Commit. There we go. Phil says, went to bed at 4, woke up at 7:30 and started coding. Waste a few hours trying to learn Redux instead of the use reducer hook. Oops. That's what happens when you're tired. I see. Nice. Okay, well, I gotta go fill up my water. I'm also gonna take some drugs to hopefully make my headache go away. But I will be right back, and I will see you guys in a sec. Okay, I'm back. Took some ibuprofen. Hopefully that will make my headache better. What do I want to do next? I think what I want to do next is do the actual repository mapping stuff. So like the data store stuff, which I'll take this and turn it into our various values that we have here. So auto update data, what did I call this thing? Gave it a name. I think I called it auto updater repos. Tables. Auto update repos. Auto update repo. Named tuple class auto update repo. Named tuple, which has repo. I wish I could just copy paste this text, but it's not text, it's an image now. Tag Shaw. latest SHA hook IDs. And tag hook IDs. I guess we do latest hook IDs and tag hook IDs. That'll make it more consistent. Yeah, I think that's good. RKJ says, you missed a sub. Oh, I missed a follow. Salmon Tartar, thank you for the follow. Welcome to the stream. Thank you for the reminder there, RKJ. Appreciate that. Oops. And let's see how this other file is structured. We've got table name equals auto update repo, and then table equals tables table name. KV store. And we need auto update repo get, which will be repo stir to optional. Auto update repo. Res equals kvstore.get table name repo. If res is not none, return auto update repo. It's repo. Actually, we just do repo equals repo. This SHA equals res latest SHA. Latest hook IDs equals tuple res latest hook IDs. Tag equals res tag. Tag SHA. Tag SHA. Tag hook IDs equals tuple res. Tag IDs. Let's return none. And then we need auto update repo put. Just take none and convert it to a dictionary, and we need to change these to, I believe, to be lists, because Dynamo is picky. And it should be tag IDs. Then KV store dot should be get item. And this should be, oh, the music has stopped. Please play music. Put item, table name, and then we need the key, which is update repo. Oh, actually, I think we just stick the dictionary in there. Is that what that looks like? iFace. No, it'll do implementation. ABS KV store put item. Yeah, we just passed the mapping in there. Perfect. Okay, I think that looks good from our data side there. Hey, what's up, typical step? Hello, hello. Learning C, nice. I did a little bit of C Python in my in a recent video on my YouTube channel. God, my neck hurts too. I'm just all complaints today. Okay. Auto updater worker. Let's get repo info, repo stir. Okay, so we need to do something like this. And I know we're gonna cheat. We're gonna cheat Lambda a little bit because Lambda will keep your job alive for a while. So if you cache stuff in memory, you can avoid a lot of database hits. So we're gonna do this. Just let this cache grow unbounded. Because presumably it should restart the job every once in a while. Maybe we should set a max size on this? I don't know. Let's see, how many hook repositories do we think there's going to be? Even if there's 1,000, even this leaks memory forever, I think this isn't a big deal. It's like a couple strings. Yeah, fuck it. We'll leave a max size. If it ever ends up being a problem, I can always change it. Get equals get. You know, I could even avoid the data store entirely and just lean on Lambda's caching. Is that a bad idea? I don't really want I don't really want the robustness of this to be. I mean, it's all kind of a cache in the end. Let's implement it with the data store, and I can always change it later. I can always remove it or do an experiment where I remove it. Let's see. Get repo info uncached repo stir. So this is where we're gonna do that. Get repo info uncached. Okay, and so this is where we need to do essentially what pre-commit does here. Update. Rev info, this is kind of the same as what we've got here. So this is what we need to do. We need to make a temporary directory, we need to initialize the repo, we need to fetch origin head tags, and then we need to try both of these commands. Oh, I guess the latest tag is optional. It's nullable because sometimes things don't have tags. So these are all optional. I'm just gonna make this always be a tuple. It'll just be an empty tuple if it's not there. That makes this easier to type and work with down here. But these will be optional. Actually, we could be even more clever about this, and if there's no tag, we could just put latest SHA into both of these fields. And I think pre-commit will handle that the same way. So let's just not make these optional. If there is no tag, this will be the same as data SHA. Ah, that's kind of weak. No, we'll do optional. Optional. The Flutter developer says, hi, what are you making right now? If you do Bang project, you can learn more about what I'm working on. I'm working on the distributed Dependabot-like updater for pre-commit.ci. You can click through to pre-commit.ci to learn more about it. It's basically a Git hooks and linter code formatter framework. And I'm building a CI system for it. Or you're building a CI as a service using it. Which is already live and it already works and it's pretty cool. Let me show you an example of that, because why not? Pre-commit is using it. Pre-commit is the entire framework that's set up to work with this. But basically it knows how to install and run your linters and code formatters against all your files, and can do those super fast cached and stuff, and like avoid a bunch of work, and I don't know. It's cool. I'm really excited about this. And we're continuing to work on it on stream, which is nice. Hey, Michaela, welcome back. Are we winning? We're making progress, certainly. We're making progress. Okay. So we need to what? We need temporary directory, temp, file. We need subprocess with temp file dot temporary directory as tempter subprocess dot call. I guess we can do def get star commands. Stir. Get -c tempter command. So we can do get init quiet template dot get remote add origin repo, then get fetch origin, add tags. We actually want quiet here. Quiet. Which actually makes me think that this should be quiet over here as well. Like so. But whatever. It's fine. Oh, you have small ants emotes, RKJ. Nice. Yeah, small ant is he's pretty cool. Pretty cool. Git commit seppuku, right? Git commit die. Yeah. Okay, so we fetch here. Tag command. Oh, I see. I see what we're doing here. You can use a tag if it is exactly the latest commit. It's very interesting that I did that. I don't think we're gonna support that here. I think like we're just gonna give you a tag, or you're gonna give you latest. Yeah, it doesn't have to work exactly the same as pre-commit auto update. Oh, I'm falling apart now. I'm losing my voice too. Yeah. Hey, what's up, Ricky Killer? Thank you for the follow. Welcome to the stream. Hopefully you're doing well. Okay, so we need to get describe fetch head tags. This is the tag output, which could fail if there are no tags. latest tag equals check output Actually, technically you should strip before you decode. It's slightly more efficient, but it doesn't really matter all that much. Tag equals output get scribe fetch head tags brev equals 0. Dang. Dang, mine's too long. Except subprocess.called process error. Oh, I can't do it like that. Okay, so that gets us both the tag and its SHA. We also need to... what do we need to do? Oh, actually, this is trickier than that. So we need to... You know, it's possible that latest SHA can be none too. Because if the latest thing, like if we hit this case here, the repository cannot be updated, like there's no hooks.yaml file there. Oh, I guess we could just set hook IDs to empty list. That would work. Yeah, that would work. Should strip before writing code. That's funny. Michael Helvey says, I don't think I'm familiar with the star-var syntax in Python. What does that denote? Well, I know I made a video about this. Surely I made a video about this. Splat. Unpack. That's unpacking, so we want packings. We want the opposite of unpackings. It might be this video. I'm not sure if I remember correctly. It might be this video too. One of those two, I think, is the one, but I'll show you really quickly. Star is a splat. There's two splats. So there's splats as an argument, and this will collect all the arguments. There's also a splat as a calling thing, where you can do star, 1, 2, 3, 4. This will produce positional arguments that are these 3 values, and you can have that as variables, like. f star x for, we'll pass, 1, 2, 3, 4 as those arguments. You can also do that with, list types too. So you can splat that. You can also splat multiple times, like so. You can also do map splats. 1, 2, 3, 4. Do star star y, like so. But yeah, that's splats. It's a splat here. He won't say dunder, but he'll say splat. He picks and chooses his silly phrases. Yeah, well, in JavaScript they call it the spread operator, but we're not writing JavaScript, so no spreads for you guys. Oh, mayonnaise, yeah. Let's see. Latest SHA equals, I'll put get rev parse fetch head. What other data do we need to populate here? We need latest SHA, we need the hook IDs for both of those. Okay. Hook IDs. Hook IDs. Temperature, stir, revision, stir. Tuple, stir. Okay. Latest hook IDs. Let's get hook IDs. Hook IDs, tuple, stir, empty tuple. You do it like this, that way this looks less weird. If you check out a branch, if you check out a file, does that clobber fetch head? I don't think it does. I think it'll be fine. Michael Helvey says, thanks for the explanation. I know I've thought that before, but I've been writing too much C lately, and I saw that in Python and thought, what? That's fair. Oh yeah, in C would be a dereference. So yeah, that would be confusing switching between the two. But there's no pure Python level pointers, so don't have to worry about that. Okay, so then we would do return auto update repo. Where we've got repo. Got latest SHA, latest hook IDs equals latest hook IDs. We've got tag equals tag. We've got tag SHA equals tag SHA, and we've got tag hook IDs equals tag hook IDs. Okay, almost done. We just have to implement this function now. So try try what? Oops. Call. Oh, we're gonna make this a nested function just to make this a little bit easier. It checkout height. Revision. Don't need tempter. Just need revision. And if this raises, accept. Oh, we want dash pre-commit hooks.yaml. So if this file doesn't exist, this will raise an error. Process.called process error. Turn empty tuple. Then we have another error case where and I'll write tests for this at some point, but yeah. We have another error case where the YAML exists, but it's not valid YAML. We have another error case where the YAML exists, but it's not the right data type. And then we have another... Oh, we have to do like full validation here. Actually, doesn't that mean that I need the full schema? Can I get away without validating it? Thing is, pre-commit has never made any forward breaking changes, and I think I can stick to that indefinitely, maybe? Yeah, I think we can stick to that. So, we could get away without validating the schema. Howdy says, hey Anthony writes code, is there an online tutoring service you would recommend for a new Pythoner stuck on a concept? What concept are you stuck on? Because there's a possibility that if you ask, I've either made a video about it or I will make a video about it. Sadly for free, because I don't really make any money. I make some money on YouTube, but not really anything. But no, I don't actually have a recommendation for a tutoring service. I mean, I could tutor you, but I'm probably too expensive, realistically. Okay, so now we need YAML. Do we do any YAML here? We do not. Do we do any YAML here? We do. Let's need this shenanigans, because I love PyYAML. PyYAML is awesome. It is definitely not the worst thing ever. It has terrible defaults. I need, oops. With open oyster path.join. Assuming this comment. Hooks.yaml. Do you fit now? Hey, look at that. Oh, actually, we don't even need to check out. We could use show, right? Oh, oh, yes. Git show provision : manifest. Nice. That way I don't even have to do checkout and open. Strip. Do I want strip in there anymore? I don't think it matters. I might change strip later though. I don't think it matters. Okay, but that allows me to get that. We don't actually need os.path. Dope. Okay, try. This equals YAML.load. Contents loader equals loader. So this might not look like the safe loader, but this is how you do the fast safe loader in PyYAML, which is, you know, a fractal of great API design. I believe it's YAML.YAML error. If not, is instance, hooks, list, or not all. Should I just catch type error and key error? Not sure. Juice says you can't afford me. Anthony flips hair and walks away, heels clicking on the marble floor. I don't even know what that's a reference to, but yeah, it sounds exactly right. Audrey says, I'm trying to make a to-do list project just for fun, and my thought was to, for the first time, use classes/objects to store each item, so they can have different bits of info stored against each. I created the class, but I'm struggling to figure out how to write a function to create a new object when a user submits the information. Part of me thinks my logic to use objects is flawed, because 2 days of scouring the internet has turned up nothing. I mean, you could always do something like, I don't know, let me just make a small example. Data pie, def, input, to do item. Def name. We can have a class. I'm just going to do a name tuple because it's going to be easier, and that way I don't have to write a bunch of boilerplate. Class item, named tuple, names, stir, description, stir, done, bool, due date. Nah, fuck that, we won't do date times. You could add date times if you want it. And this will return an item. This will return int. This will be a list of items. While true, print, welcome to the to-do app. Q quit. L list. A add. Choice equals input. Choice equals input dot lower dot strip. If choice equals q, break. Else if choice equals L for item in to do items. Of course, you could make this print output better, but I'm just going to cheese it for now. Of choice equals A to do items. Append input to do item. Print unexpected input choice. I'll guess a little bit of a loop going there. Name equals input. What is your to-do items name? Description equals input. What is your items description? And then done will be false. We could probably also say like print. Well, we'll leave done up to the viewer. Return item, name equals name, description equals description, done equals false. Oh, I can't see that because it is off the screen. Okay, there's the code for that. Okay. I think this should mostly work. Of course, I need to actually import list. Import list. Alright, let's try it. Welcome to the to app. We give it garbage. It says unexpected input ASDF. If we do Q, it quits. Cool. If we do add, what is your item's name? Foo! The foo thing! And then if we do list, we can see that. If we add another item, bar thing. List. You can see we have 2 things in our list now. Anyway, that's kind of a silly example. I don't know if that's what you were looking for there, Howdy, but I guess I can paste bin this so you can kind of see what I did here. I'll get rid of the line breaks when I paste bin it though. But hopefully that gives you something to go off of. Of course, this is a global variable. I would not suggest that. You can probably do this in a better way, but here's an easy, short, silly example of that. Hey, what's up, Unfeeling Cash? Good to see you. How's it going? The man is focused. It's true. It's true. Tilky says Q. The man on the keyboard are one. It's true. It's true. Hey, howdy. Thank you for subscribing with Prime. Appreciate that. I see, hopefully that helped you out. It just goes from 0 to Prime sub right there. Michaela says he's gonna be writing unit tests before he gets around to answering your question. No, I did, kind of, ish. And if you're curious about name tuples, I have a bunch of YouTube videos that go over them. So you can check those out as well. I usually find that writing classes with these is easier / nicer, although you might want to use data classes, but I don't have a video about data classes, so sorry. Okay, so if not is instance hooks list, turn this, or hook in hooks. If not is instance hook dict, turn this. Or ID not in hook, return that. Hook IDs dot append hook ID. Turn tuple hook IDs. Okay. So this is the function that I would probably want to test the most because there are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 error cases and 1 success case. Fortunately, I should be able to test this locally. Yeah, because I can set up repo as something that's easily local clonable. I can also move this. Oh, this is wrong. This is wrong. This should be get. I can also move this out and test it separately. But, yeah. Hey, what's up, Boosted Scrub 69? Thank you for the follow. Welcome to the stream. Yola Schmoll says, what do you think about walrus operators for this? I think that it is unreadable. No walrus. I don't think it makes the code more readable. I think it makes it markedly unreadable. Although you're right, I could have done, instead of break here, I could have done, you know, print menu, or I guess like get choice, stir, and then put this in here, turn. Oh, that was cool. Choice, get choice. Wow, choice does not equal Q. I mean, maybe at that point I would do walrus for here, like choice colon equals get choice. Like maybe I would write like this, but again, like I find that walrus makes code harder to read and not easier to read. And honestly, like I think the original code with the break, oh, I guess I would remove this. I think the original code with the break is, you know, much more readable than either of these alternatives. Like I would probably write, I mean, I did write, so I would write like this. I would write this instead of, you know, the walrusy version. But that's just me. That's just me. Oh no, all boosted scrubs get out. She says, one more meeting. Nice. Deep Red Sky is, what is the walrus operator? It is an assignment expression. It performs an assignment as a side effect of the middle of a statement. Making it a little bit harder to understand when things get assigned or not, in my opinion. You can kind of use it to, you know, write some cheesy code. But yeah. Anyway, you're right. You could use walrus for that, Yoshimo. I just personally. Okay. I'm typing import optional and tuple. Although I usually say tuple. Right. This is plural. That looks pretty cool. Let's try a repo that only has one hook, so it's a little bit easier to read the output. I upgrade. That's the latest SHA, that's the latest tag, and the latest tag SHA, it's actually the same as that there. Tag hook IDs equals pepper. Let's try something that definitely doesn't have any hooks. The asto/babby should still give us some of the information here. Yeah, you can see that we get the latest tag is this, and tag SHA is different, and the hook ID is empty. Cool. Cool. What happens if we do it? We do the data store part, get repo info. That was kind of slow. That should be instant. And if we close and reopen, and we run that, it should load from this data store that's chilling out here. /auto update repos, select star from the value from data. Sick. Sick. Okay, so that part's done. All that's left to do is the actual YAML shenanigans part. But I am exhausted, and my headache did not go away despite taking drugs. So I think I'm going, and I'm also hungry. So I think I'm gonna, you know, call the stream here, go lay down, get some food, do some other stuff. But yeah, let me do my spiel. A little bit of an announcement. We're gonna be doing a 12-hour stream this Saturday at 10 Pacific. And it's going to be a variety of content. So, of course, we're going to be doing some programming, but also we're going to be doing some, you know, widget games and stuff for Michaela, who redeemed the 100,000 channel points. We're going to play in some FTL, indeed. Michaela, also send me a link to whatever Hack the Box you want me to do, so I pick out one that you want to do. But yeah, that should be fun. So stop by for that on Saturday. But yes, my name is Anthony. My YouTube channel is youtube.com/AnthonyWritesCode, where I upload previous streams. Those are the black videos, and educational content, which is the purple videos. So make sure to check that out and subscribe and stuff and all that other shenanigans. I stream on Monday, Wednesday, Friday, and Saturday. And I announce my streams in 2 places. One of them is on Twitter, and that's twitter.com/codewithanthony. So follow there. I basically say, I'm going to stream in such amount of time, and then I talk about what I'm going to work on. But yeah, I also, shoot shit about programming stuff there too, so check that out as well. I also announced the streams on Discord, which you guys are free to join. It's a small, well, I guess it's not really small anymore. It's a medium-sized programming Discord. There's a nice beginners channel if you guys have questions that you want to ask there, and there's usually a bunch of people that can help you out there, but there's also good memes and stuff and, stream announcements and other stuff like that. But thank you all for stopping by, and hopefully I'll see you guys around in the future. But let's go find someone to raid.